Good afternoon, all of you. Hope you all are doing good. May God bless you all. Welcome to Commerce first year class. Guys, till yesterday, we were doing part B of Commerce paper. That was accountancy part, which comprises of 50 marks. Okay, that comprises of 50 marks, and we have done that yesterday. Till yesterday, we did those 50 marks. Now we have part A, that is theory. This again comprises of 50 marks. Let us first see the blueprint how it would be. Part A, as I said, would comprise another 50 marks. So let us see how those 50 marks are divided. The breakup we will see. In section A, you will get 3 LAQs, 3 long questions in section A. Let us say section 1, you'll get 3 long questions and you have to answer any 2 into 10, you'll get 20 marks. Okay, 2 into 10, you'll get 20 marks. In section 2, you'll get SAQs. In section 2, you'll get 6 SAQs. Okay, you'll get 6 SAQs. You have to answer any 4, each one carrying 5 marks, and this would be another 20 marks. And the last section, section 3, you'll get 8 VSAQs. 8 VSAQs. 8 VSAQs, and you are supposed to answer any 5. 5 twos are, you'll get 10 marks. So this is how 20 plus 20 plus 10 will get 50 marks. Okay. So we are going to learn all this. The 10 markers, the 5 markers, and the 2 markers. Okay. In the next 3 days, we are going to cover all the very important from the exam point of view, those questions we are going to cover. Okay. The first thing is, this is for 22, 23. Okay. It's not 21, 22, it is for 22, 23. So we are going to discuss very important LAQs and again SAQs and VSAQs. Okay. So is the breakup clear, all of you? Have gone through this? So we'll move forward. The very first important question and mostly asked is, what is sole proprietorship and what are its features or advantages and disadvantages? One of these will be asked for sure. Okay, so let us begin with the first question. What is a sole proprietor? Okay, what is a sole proprietor? See, we see different forms of business organizations in and around our society. In some business organization, if you happen to go and see, there will be only one person sitting always on the counter. He'll be taking care of all the customers. He'll be selling, he'll be collecting cash. Okay, he'll be doing all the course in the organization. That is one form. There is another business organization in the society. We see 3 to 4 people taking care of the business, right? Similarly, there will be some hundreds or thousands or lakhs of people who owns the business organization. So there are different types of business organizations. When we talk about sole, what does the word sole mean? Sole means single. Sole means single. Okay, so sole proprietor is a form of business organization where there is only a single person who owns the business, who invests the amount, who takes the risk, who enjoys the profit, who bears the losses, who does all the management activities, whether it is purchase, sale, attending the customer, all these activities will be done by one single person that form a business organization. We call it as sole proprietorship. So let us see whether it is good or bad, or let us see what are its features. The first feature is it is single ownership. What is it? Single ownership. In case of sole proprietorship, there is a single owner. Okay, there is a single owner. He owns the entire business organization. He invests all the resources. He manages all the resources. Okay, so there is single ownership. Okay, ownership is not divided between different people. The entire ownership is owned by a single person. That is the first characteristic. Then, no separation of ownership and management. Just now I told no, he'll be doing all the business activities by himself. He'll take all the decisions of the business. So there are no two different segments that owner is different and management is done by different. No, it is not like that. The management and the owner is one and the same. So these two are no separate entities in case of a single sole proprietorship. The management is owner, the owner is management. Okay, he does all the management activities, take all the decision. As such, we say that there is no separation of ownership and management. Like if I want you to understand, if I want to give an example and make you understand, if we talk about any company, let us say if I talk about Reliance company, if I'm talking about Reliance company, who is the owner? Let us say one of the owners is Mukesh Ambani. There are so many owners. Let us say one of the owners is Mukesh Ambani. But have you ever seen Mukesh Ambani coming to any of his office or any of his outlet? We have so many outlets now. Reliance Trends, Reliance Fresh, Reliance Digital. So many outlets are there. Do we ever see Mukesh Ambani sitting in that outlet? No. The management is done by different people and ownership is in the hands of different people. I said Mukesh Ambani is one of the owners. He is not the only owner of Reliance. For any company, there will be n number of owners, but they will never take the management activities. Okay, the management is done by different people. But when it comes to sole proprietorship, the management is done by the owner only. So we say that ownership and management are one and the same. Next, less legal formalities. To start a sole proprietorship, we don't have to prepare so many documents, or we don't have to approach any government office, I mean more offices to get the permission and all that. With minimum documents, with minimum permission, we can start a sole proprietor type of business organization. So we say that it has less formalities to be fulfilled. Then, no sharing of profits or losses. No sharing of profits or losses, because all the profits of a sole proprietorship are enjoyed by a single person only. All the profits are enjoyed by single person only. He don't have to share his profits with anybody. Okay, that is one of the features of profit. This thing, sole proprietorship, because there is only one owner. Obviously, owner only will get the profit. No, the other employees, if any, are there, they are not going to get a share in the profit. They are going to get their salaries. But the entire profit will be enjoyed by the proprietor, who happens to be a single person in case of sole proprietorship. Then, unlimited liability. The liability or the risk is unlimited. In case of sole proprietorship, the risk is unlimited. See, every business involves a lot of risk. We do start business with a lot of anticipation that we'll be earning so much profit. We'll be doing business on a very good this thing, in a very organized manner, and we'll be earning so much. But you never know. If any untoward incident happens and if any loss occurs, that entire loss has to be borne by a single person only, because there is no one to share your profits and there is no one to share your losses also. This happens to be a big disadvantage of sole proprietorship. So in the event of huge losses, the proprietor has to dispose of his personal property also. He may have to dispose, he may have to sell his personal property to clear the debts of the market. So we say that the liability of sole proprietor is unlimited. The liability of sole proprietor is unlimited because his private property is also at stake. Next, next feature is it is one man control. We can say that it is one man show. It is one man show handling all the activities of business. As I told you while introducing you the topic sole proprietorship, I told you single person invests the amount, single person takes the decision. He does look after all the business activities. He will be doing purchasing, selling, attending the customer. Every activity, okay, is under the control of one person. And whatever decisions are taken are also taken by one person only. Last one is no separate legal entity. A proprietorship firm, a proprietorship firm is not having legal existence. That is, suppose there is a firm by the name, let us say there is a mobile shop by the name Galaxy Galaxy Mobiles. There is a mobile shop by the name Galaxy Mobiles, and its proprietor is Mr. Ravi. Let us say, for example, Mr. Ravi is the proprietor of Galaxy Mobile. If any contract is to be entered in by this firm, then the contract would be between Mr. Ravi and the other party. It will not be between Galaxy Mobile and the other party, because Galaxy Mobile, the firm has no legal existence. That firm is known by the proprietor's name only, let us say. Okay, the firm is recognized by the proprietor's name only. It has no legal existence. As such, Galaxy Mobile cannot enter into any contract with a third party. If any such contract is to be entered into, it would be between the proprietor and the third party, because Galaxy Mobile has no legal existence. Okay, so this is how we have seen the features of sole proprietorship. Now let us go to the okay. Yeah. Now let us see the advantages and disadvantages of sole proprietorship. Mostly, this one is expected. Advantages and disadvantages of sole proprietorship. Again, you always start with the introduction. When you write this answer, no, you write with the introduction. If possible, you write, if you remember thoroughly, you write one definition and then take up the advantages and disadvantages. Directly, when the question says, write the advantages and disadvantages, you directly don't jump to writing the advantages and disadvantages. Give introduction and one definition, whichever you feel easy. There are numerous definitions given. You take any of the definition which is easy. So sole proprietor, it is a form of business organization in which single individual introduces his own capital, his skill, his intelligence in management, and is solely responsible for all the results of its operation, whether profit or loss. It is also known as individual entrepreneurship and is easiest and simplest organization. And there is one definition given by Kimball and Kimball. So sole proprietorship is a form of business where individual proprietor is supreme judge of all matters pertaining to the business. This is the easiest definition. So when you write this answer, you take this definition. Right? Now let us take what are the advantages. We are first discussing the merits. We are first discussing the merits of sole proprietorship. The very first advantage is it is easy to form and easy to wind up. See, why is it easy to form and why is it easy to wind up? Point number one, only one person is taking the decision and there are less legal formalities. These two things make enable a sole proprietorship to be easily started, to be easily formed, and also easily winded up. Suppose there is Mr. X, he wanted to start a mobile gallery, mobile shop. He invested 10 lakhs rupees and started a mobile. As you know now by this time that there is there are very less legal formalities to be fulfilled. So he can easily approach one desk and take that permission and he can start that sole proprietary firm. And like say after 1 or 2 years, he felt that he's not, he's not flourishing, he's not able to continue with the business and he wants to close it. He can do it instantly without approaching or without taking decision of others. He can easily wind it up also. So this is a very, very big disadvantage. It is a big advantage that it can be easily started and it can be easily winded up also. The second one is quick decision and prompt action. See, if suppose you have a business where 4 or 5 partners are there, let us say partnership firm is there where 5 partners are there. If any decision regarding the firm is to be taken, if any decision regarding the business is to be taken, then it can happen only with when all the 5 are giving their consent, or at least majority give their consent, then only that decision can be taken. But in case of sole proprietor, there is only one person to take the call. There is only one person to take the decision. So as we can understand, whatever it is, whether it is pro or anti, whether it is a decision in favor or against, that can be taken very quickly and promptly also. Okay, it can be taken very quickly and promptly, and it is a very big advantage. Many a times it happens if any decision is delayed, that may cause a loss to the business. Or decision delayed may cause a loss to the business. So this quick decision and prompt decision happens to be a very big advantage in case of sole proprietorship. Next is direct motivation. Very important point. What is the direct motivation? Now, I told you, while telling you the features, I told you all the profits earned by the proprietor, all the profits earned by the proprietor. Suppose there is this Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C. I'm comparing this with partnership. They earned a profit of, let us say, 2 lakhs, right? Let us say they earn a profit of 2 lakhs and their profit sharing ratio is A is getting 1 lakh rupees, B is getting 50,000 and C is getting 50,000, right? Now, if it is a sole proprietorship, where Mr. X is the proprietor and if he earns rupees 2 lakhs, will he share these 2 lakhs with anybody? Answer is no. He will not share these 2 lakhs with anybody. This total profit of 2 lakhs is of Mr. X only. So now that he has not to share profit with anybody, he will be motivated to work hard. In the earlier case, in case of partnership, one of the partners may think that I am putting all the efforts, but when it comes to profits, all the partners are sharing. So he may get little lethargic. Why should I work hard? This sort of feeling, this sort of thinking may come to the person when in case of partnership. But in case of sole proprietorship, it is not the case because entire profit earned is enjoyed by the same person. So he'll be motivated to work hard. He'll put extra efforts. Okay, he'll open the shop early, he'll close the shop till late. Okay, he'll not take any leaves, he'll not take any holiday, he will keep his shop open 24 into 7 or let us say 365 days a year. He'll put extra efforts because whatever profits he's earning, the total profits, he alone is enjoying. So we say that there is a direct motivation. More the work, more the profits. So he is motivated to work more. He is motivated to work hard. Next, flexibility in operation. Flexibility in operation means, again, since there is only one person, whatever changes he want to make in the organization can be done easily. Suppose he want to change the timings of the business, he can do it. He want to change the say the nature of the business. Suppose he was doing business of mobiles, now he want to change it to getting into garment industry. He want to do garment business. That also he can do it easily. So since there is only one person who takes the call, the operations in business, such business, are very flexible without waiting for anybody to give their approval or consent. Right? That is it. Next, maintenance of secrecy. Maintenance of secrets. Obviously, if it is a sole proprietorship, he knows very well. If let us say, for example, there is a restaurant, there is a cafe, let us say. Okay, and that cafe prepares a very tasty tea, and it is getting sold like anything. Every people flock at that shop, at that cafe to have the tea there. Now, there will be definitely some secret of making that tea, no? There will be some recipe, there will be some secret of making that tea. Now, tell me, if there is only one person who is preparing the tea and earning lakhs of profit, will he enjoy that secret of making tea with anybody? Obviously, no. Because if he does so, then many other people also will start making similar tea and the customer will get divided and that will affect his profit. So obviously, a single person would never dare to share secrets of the business because he knows very well if he is going to share, it's going to affect his profit. So, if it is a partnership firm, 4 to 5 people will be there. Then any of the partner may get little corrupt. Any of the partner, let us say there are A, B, C, D partners. A may share the secret with his brother, and his brother may also start preparing the same tea, start an outlet nearby them, and this will divide the customer. There is a possibility in case of partnership, but in case of proprietorship, there is no such possibility because the proprietor very well knows if he shares the secret, it is going to affect his profit. So maintenance of business secret is one of the advantages. And lastly, personal touch. See, it happens, you might have visited any shop in your locality, you see every time a single person sitting on the counter will definitely have a personal touch with every customer walking in the shop. And when there is a personal touch, that definitely increases the sale. Okay, if you are in touch with the customer directly, if the same person is in contact with the customer every time they walk in the shop, that will boost the sales. Say if there is a shop where different people are attending the customer, there cannot be a personal touch. Even the customer would not be motivated to go to that shop. But if the same person is there sitting every time attending to the customer personally, that will definitely boost the sales of that business. Okay, so this is personal touch. Next. Next, let us see the disadvantages of sole proprietorship. Now let us see the disadvantages of sole proprietorship. We have discussed the advantages, right? Now let us discuss the disadvantages of sole proprietorship. One disadvantage what I can see is since there is a single person, his investment capacity will be limited. So this will not suit to start a large scale operation, because large scale operation will need a lot of money, and that he cannot provide as a single person. Okay. Right. So we are discussing disadvantages of sole proprietorship. Disadvantages of sole proprietorship. The first disadvantage is limited resources. I told you, no, single owner, single investment capacity. So it is not possible for him to provide large funds to start a big business. That acts as a big limitation, that acts as a big constraint for a sole proprietor, sole proprietary form of business organization, as the resources are limited, and his borrowing capacity also will be limited, his credit worthiness also will be limited, because even if bank is extending loan, they will not give a big amount to a sole proprietary firm, isn't it? If it is a partnership firm or a company, definitely the credit worthiness of the firm increases in case of partnership. So even banks will allow a greater loan, a bigger loan instead in case of partnership. Whereas when it comes to proprietorship, looking at the credit worthiness of a single person, the banks may also not extend a bigger amount. So that acts as a constraint. That acts as a constraint or a limitation. Next, lack of continuity. Now, suppose there is one owner, he started a shop. Let us say there is Mr. A, he started a sole proprietary business. But then, what is the guarantee that suppose he is having two sons? He is having two sons, alpha and beta. If both these alpha and beta are learned, suppose they pursued education and they went into jobs. Obviously, when he becomes old or when he dies, there is a possibility that the business may come to an end because his children are not interested in continuing the same business, right? So relatively, there is more chances that the business would come to end after the proprietor. Not every time, but relatively the chances are more in case of proprietary firm that the business comes to end after the proprietor dies. Okay, when compared to partnership, because in case of partnership, what will happen? There will be 4 or 5 persons, isn't it? Suppose there will be Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C. Suppose Mr. A dies, will the business come to an end? No, it will not, because C, B and C will continue the business, isn't it? Or even if suppose B also dies, he may continue, or C may take some Mr. X as a partner. The business continues. Whereas in case of proprietorship, after the death of proprietor, there is a possibility that the business will come to an end. That is it. Then unlimited liability. This I told you while telling the features, no? The liability of a proprietorship firm is unlimited, because in the event of loss, in the event of loss, the proprietor has to dispose of his personal property and pay the debts. So the liability or the risk is not only limited to his business, but it is coming to his personal properties also. So we say that the liability of sole proprietorship is unlimited. Next, it is not suitable for large scale operations. Why is it not suitable for large scale operations? For two reasons, I will say. One is the finance, because he cannot invest more. The second one is the managerial ability. It is not only the finance that acts as a constraint, it is the managerial ability of a single person also that acts as a constraint, and it will not facilitate or it will not enable that single person to start large scale operations. Large scale operations need large finance and also need managerial ability of that level. And as a single person, he will not be able to manage. He may be expert in one aspect. A single person can be expert in one aspect or two, but you cannot expect a single person to be a master of all trades, no? Like he is good in, let us say, purchases. He is good in sales. So purchase and sales he can handle. What about finances? What about accounts? There are so many aspects in business. So a single person cannot handle all. So as such, these two act as a constraint and will not enable a sole proprietor to start business on a large scale operations are not possible. Next is limited managerial expertise I have covered here only, because a single person cannot be a master in multiple fields. So that also will act as a constraint. Okay, is it clear? So guys, we have done sole proprietorship, where we have covered the features, the advantages and disadvantages. Okay, now let us move to the next topic. Let us now take the next question, that is partnership. Okay, partnership. Now, before we actually go to the question, I'd like to say a few points. What does partnership means? See, all the partnership firms in India, all the partnership firms in India are governed by Indian Partnership Act 1932. So when you write the advantages and disadvantages of partnership, you first write the introduction I told you. Okay, it is given here, you see. All the partnership firms in India are governed by Partnership Act 1932, and as per section 4 of the Partnership Act, it defines the firm as the relation between two persons, or the relation between persons who have agreed to share profits of a business carried on by all, or one acting for all. This is the definition, the best definition you should write in the examination. This is the definition given by Indian Partnership Act 1932, section 4. Okay, so as per section 4 of Indian Partnership Act 1932, the relation between persons who have agreed to share the profits of a business carried on by one, or carried on by all, or anyone acting for all. You write this definition and then take up the advantages. What is the first advantage? It is easy to form. Just like a sole proprietary firm, here also we don't have much legal formalities. What is the simple thing we have to do? We simply have to enter into an agreement. That is what is expected. Suppose there are two persons, X and Y, they both want to start a partnership firm. They have to have an agreement. That is essential feature of any partnership firm. What is it? Agreement. Having an agreement. This agreement can be either an oral agreement or it is a written agreement. There is no obligation. There is no compulsion that the agreement should be written. It has to have an agreement, either oral or written. But if it is written, it is always good. Any agreement should be written. Okay, that is always good. Okay, so as I told you, they just have to enter into an agreement and they can start doing business. Okay, just like proprietary firm. So it is very easy to start by agreement, either oral or written. Right. Second is availability of large resources. See, when I am saying availability of large resources, I am comparing this with proprietary firm and telling you. But if I again compare it with a company, then this is a disadvantage, I should say. Suppose now I am saying we have learned, no, in the disadvantages of proprietary firm, it is having limited resources there we learn, because a single person cannot invest more. But here, in case of partnership, as per Partnership Act 1932 now, they can have maximum up to 50 partners. Okay, minimum 2. And what is the maximum? 50. So they can take 50 persons as partners. Suppose each person is invest, let us say 5 lakh rupees also. I'm giving just an example. Not necessary that every person, every partner should have the same capital. I'm just taking an average. Suppose each partner invests 5 lakhs, 5 5s are 250, right? 250 lakhs rupees he'll have. What is 250 lakhs? Convert into crores, right? 2 crores 50 lakhs. They can have a capital of 2 crore 50 lakhs. With this, they can start a comparatively bigger business than a proprietorship, no? So that is why it is said that availability of large resources. And also, when these 50% take the responsibility as a firm, bank also will extend a bigger loan as compared to proprietorship. In case of proprietorship, since there is only one person, his credit worthiness is challenged. His credit worthiness is at question. But here 50 persons are there. And they all collectively will be called as firm. So obviously, the credit worthiness of 50 people will be more compared to a single person. So even banks will extend a bigger loan that will enable them to start a relatively bigger business than a sole trader. Okay. Then better decisions. See, it happens, no? Sometimes a single person taking a decision may prove to be wrong. Many a time it happens. If you are supposed to take any decision, you normally consult somebody. You take advice of some senior people of your family like that, because you feel if I may take a decision in haste, it may prove to be wrong. That happens in case of proprietary firm where there is a single person. But here, as I said, we can have up to 50. Even if 50 are not there, let us say 4, 5, 10 partners are there. If 10 people apply their brains and take a decision, obviously the outcome would be very good and it will be in favor of the firm, isn't it? So we say that better decisions can be taken in case of partnership by consulting all the partners, right? Next is flexibility. Again, here also, as you have seen in proprietary firm, this is also little flexible only. Okay, like the partnership firm is flexible organization. At any point of time, the partners can decide to change the size or nature of the business or area of the operation. But the only condition here is it should be with the consent of all the partners, or at least with majority of the partners. Okay, that's it. Then sharing of risk. Suppose again, let us compare it with a proprietary firm. Suppose there is a proprietary firm. There we have learned. Suppose only one owner. Only one owner. Say Mr. Alpha. He incurred a loss of 10 lakhs. So obviously, is anybody going to share his loss? The answer is no. Nobody is going to share his loss. He has to bear the total loss himself only, isn't it? But just imagine the same team with, say, 3 or 4 partners. We imagine it with a firm having 4 partners. And if they incur a loss of 10 lakhs, what will happen? This 10 lakh will be divided between 4 people. Let us say if they are equal partners, each one will have to bear only 2.5 lakhs. So if you see comparatively, the risk is getting diffused in case of partnership. Obvious, okay, of course, profit also will have to be distributed, but then even loss gets distributed in the bad situation, in the worst situation. So this is again advantage we can say. Next, benefit of specialization. Now, what is this benefit of specialization? Okay, again, let us take this example. Suppose uh, when I was telling you about proprietorship, I told you one person handle all the purchase department, sale department, marketing department, finance department. Not possible, no? You cannot be a master of all trades. But in case of partnership firm, suppose there are 4 partners. Say X, Y, Z, and Alpha. Suppose X is an expert in purchasing. Okay, he's an expert in purchasing. So he can take off purchase department. Y is expert in marketing. He can take off marketing department. Z is a good, let us say he's a good in accounting. So he'll take care of writing the books of account and all that. And Mr. Alpha is good in arranging finances, right? So he'll take care of finance department. Like this, we can get the benefit of expertise of each partner in case of partnership, which is not possible in case of proprietary firm. In proprietary firm, only one person is there. He has to take all the decisions. He has to manage all the departments. And as again, I am saying, a single person cannot be a master of all trades. Whereas in case of partnership, multiple people having multiple expertise, each one will go as per his expertise and give the best result to the firm, right? Then secrecy. Again, same like proprietary firm. Here, whatever profits they are earning, the profits are distributed between partners only. Suppose there are four partners. Each partner knows very well whatever profits, suppose that business secret, again, I gave the example of tea or preparing anything. Let us say biryani outlet is there. They have a recipe that is known only to those four partners. Those four partners know very well if the recipe of our biryani is leaked out, anybody in the market will prepare the same type of biryani and our customers will get distributed. Our customer will get diverted. So each partner is scared. Each partner is afraid that I should not I divulge. I should not share the secret recipe of our biryani. So again, we say in case of partnership that there is a possibility, there is a low possibility or a least possibility of business secrets being leaked out. Okay, then then let us go to the next slide. Now let us take the disadvantages. Okay. Let us take the disadvantages of partnership. Okay. So what are the disadvantages? Unlimited liability. Like proprietary firm, if any huge losses occur, those losses, to clear off those losses or to pay the debts in the market, the proprietor's personal property is at stake. So even in case of partnership, if any big loss occurs, the partners have to dispose of their personal property and pay off the debts. So we say that the personal property of partners is at stake. Okay, the risk is not only limited to business, it also enters their personal life and their personal property, whatever car or anything is there, they have to sell and pay off the debts. Next, instability. Okay, instability. Now, see, there are, let us say, 4 or 5 partners are there. Like life is uncertain, no? Any partner may die, a partner may get insolvent, or any partner may get insane, or any partner may want to discontinue the firm. So, and it's very, very occasionally it does happen that all the 4 or 5 partners who are a part of the firm think on the same wavelength. There will be difference of opinion, and because of this difference of opinion, they some quarrels, some rifts will crop up, which will dismantle the business, which will break up the partnership or partnership form, let us say. So there is an instability because if any of the partner does not want to continue, he can retire. There is one option, or else he can send a notice of dissolution. So when he send a notice of dissolution, in that case, the firm has to be closed totally. The business has to close. See, if it is a retirement, only the partner will go, but the business will continue. But if it is a dissolution of firm, then the business itself has to be closed. Without continuing the business has to be closed. Then limited capital. Limited capital is comparing it with a joint stock company. If you compare it with a proprietorship, we would say that it's able to arrange moderate finance. It's able to partnership firm is able to arrange moderate finance as compared to a proprietary firm. But as compared to a joint stock company, no, they are not. Again, they cannot start a very large operation. See, suppose a business requires a finance of 100 crores. Is it possible for a partnership firm? Then the answer is no. It can be done only as a company. It can be done only as a joint stock company. So again, here also we can say that the capacity of partners to invest is limited, as such will not allow them to invest more. Next is no transferability of share. Now, what does this mean? No transferability of share. Say I gave this example. Let us say this is partner A, partner B, partner C, partner D. Suppose A is saying, I want to move away from the firm and my son will take my place. This is not possible. Mr. A cannot say that my shares will be taken over by my son, is not possible. Okay. What is the process? A has to retire and then B, C, D has to give a consent to take his son as a partner. Then only this can happen. Otherwise, normally the share is not transferable. The share of A or B or C is not transferable to any friend or any relative. It can happen that one partner retires and in his place another partner is admitted. This is the process which is very lengthy. Okay. Then possibility of conflicts. Obviously, it happens no. In a family where 3, 4 people are there of the same family, even there is no parallel thinking. Obviously, there will be difference of opinion that would lead to some conflicts and risk. Now, in case of partnership, people coming from different background, people coming from different culture, people coming from different families, they join together, they pool their money and start a business. After some time, say when the business starts prospering, definitely there will be some conflict and that would lead to breaking their partnership or dissolution of the firm. Okay, so this is how we have covered two LAQs today. We have covered two LAQs today. Please go through, very, very important. Out of this, one is sure to come in exam. I guarantee you, out of the two questions what we have learned, one is sure to come in exam. Okay, then the next one is I'll take one more question, that is joint stock company. Okay. Again, this is also very important. What is a joint stock company? See, what are we learning? We are learning different forms of business organizations. We did proprietary firm, isn't it? We did proprietary firm. Then we did partnership firm. Now we are taking up joint stock company. We do have different others also, like cooperative societies there, joint into undivided family is there, but then they are least expected. So I'm not taking those topics. I have directly taken up joint stock company. How different is joint stock company from a proprietary firm or a partnership firm, where partnership and proprietary firms have no legal existence. A proprietary firm and a partnership firm have no legal existence, but a joint stock company has a separate legal existence. It is a separate legal entity. It is an artificial person created by law. Though it is not a physical person, it is not a natural person like you and me. It's not a natural person having flow of blood and breathing, respiring like that. But still, it does exist in the eyes of law. So we say that a company is a artificial person created by law. Okay. Now again, this is a definition given by L.H. Hane. And all the partnership firms in India are governed by company. Sorry, I'm talking about company. All the companies in India are governed by Companies Act 2013. All the companies registered in India are governed by Companies Act 2013. Like I said, partnership firms are governed by Indian Partnership Act 1932. Likewise, all the companies registered in India are governed by Companies Act 2013, right? And a company is having a separate legal entity. Okay. So we'll take this topic tomorrow actually. Today I'll conclude the session here. Please go through the two LAQs what we have discussed. I again tell one of these is sure to come for your exam. Okay. So take care. Bye.